Hi all, welcome to the video lecture series of Object-Oriented Programming. In this video lecture, we'll be discussing about one of the most important topic in Java, that is known as constructors. There are no interviews without any questions based on constructors. At least 2 or 3 questions will be there based on this topic. This topic is that important. So we will see what is a constructor. A constructor in Java is actually a special method. So there's no difference between a method and functions in C that we know. So a constructor is actually a method. A method means a function or a block of code. We'll be giving a name to that block of code so that we can use that block of code any number of times, right? So constructor is also a method in Java, but it is used only for creating objects. That is the most important speciality of this method constructor. That means this constructor or the method is used only to initialize objects. Initialize means to give some initial values to the objects. So we know the word meaning of the dictionary meaning of this word constructor. It is someone who constructs, right? So a constructor in Java is actually a method that is used to initialize objects. It is the responsibility of constructor to give some initial values to objects. And this method or constructor is called or invoked only when we create objects in objects in Java. We know that if a method needs to be executed, that has to be invoked or that has to be called. We have studied that in the case of methods or functions in C programming language also. Writing functions doesn't mean that those functions will work automatically or those functions will not get executed unless we call them. Similarly, here also writing a constructor doesn't mean that the constructor will start working automatically. So a constructor needs to be called, and this calling takes place only when we create objects, because when we create object we need to use constructor. Unless and otherwise we use constructors, the objects are not created. And there are some rules that we have to follow when we write or when we create constructors, and these are the 3 rules that we have to mention, we have to keep in mind. First of all, the name of the constructor must be same as that of its class. We just now described that constructor is a method, and we know that when we write or when we create methods we can give our own names. That means we can define a method with our own names. We can give any identifier as a method name. But when we create constructor, the name of the constructor must be same as that of its class. It should be same as that of its class. That is very important. Second rule is a constructor does not need a return type. So we don't have to worry about the return type, because we don't have to write a return type for a constructor, because constructors will not have a return type. And the third rule is we cannot use any of these keywords abstract, static, final, synchronized with the constructor. So these are actually different keywords in Java. We'll be studying about these keywords in detail in the upcoming classes. But for the time being, just understand that when we create constructors, we don't have to use any of these keywords. All these keywords are something related to methods in general. Since constructor is also a method, we don't have to use any of these keywords when we create a constructor. So these are 3 rules that we have to keep in mind when we write a constructor or when we create a constructor. So I will again define once again, that is, a constructor is a method. We know what is a method, right? A method means it's a block of code to which we'll be assigning a name so that we can use that block of code any number of times. Similar to writing factorial method and calling that method for calculating the formula of permutations and combinations. That is known as a method. So constructor is also a method, but this method has got a special duty or a responsibility. This method named constructor is used only for initializing objects. Initializing means giving some values to the object variables and methods. And when this method is called, or when will this method will executed or will get executed, this method will get executed only when we create objects. That is also an important point. This method gets executed only when we create objects. And there are three rules that we have to follow in order to create a constructor. They are, first of all, about its name. The name of constructor is same as that of its class name. So we don't have to worry about what shall we name it. We don't have to search for different names that we can assign to a constructor. A constructor means a method having the same name as that of the class. That's the first rule. Second rule is, we don't have to worry about the return type of a constructor, because we know that when we write methods, we have to think what that method is going to return. What shall we assign as the return type, whether it is a void or int or a float or double, something like that. Because return type is compulsory for methods, but in case of constructor, there is no need of return types. And even though constructor is a method, this is the third rule, even though it's a method, we don't have to use any of these keywords like abstract, static, final, synchronized. And also, as I mentioned, the word meaning of constructor. In dictionary, its meaning is somebody who constructs. So that is why we call this method as a constructor, because this method constructs the value at the time of object creation. In addition to that, we must consider these 2 points, because it is not compulsory that we have to write constructors when we create class. When we write simple programs in Java, standalone programs in which there are main method, we often don't write constructors. This is because for every class that we write, Java compiler creates a default constructor even if we are not creating it. Okay, that point is very important. If we are not writing any constructor, that is very important, because if we are writing a constructor means that constructor will be used. If we means the programmer who is writing the program, if the programmer is not creating a constructor inside a class, then Java compiler will be creating a default constructor, and that constructor will be used. So we can say that in other words, that is, for every class there exists a default constructor, and that constructor will be used if and only if the programmer does not create a constructor of its own. Okay, so if I am writing a Java program and if I am not writing or creating a constructor in my class, then Java compiler will give us a permission to use the default constructor. So for every class there exists a constructor which is designed or created by the Java compiler, that will be used only if the programmer does not create a constructor of their own. This is very important interview question. That's why I'm explaining it again and again. I hope you understood. So there are 2 types of constructors. One is default constructor. It's also known as no argument constructor, because this constructor does not have any parameters or will not accept any parameters. Naturally, the second category will be constructors with parameters. We will see each one in detail. So default constructor is also known as no argument constructor. That means this constructor will not take any parameters. Arguments are parameters are also known as arguments. So no arg constructor means these constructors does not take any parameters. Okay, the syntax of default constructor is class name and then pair of parentheses and a pair of curly brackets. So I hope you understood why we have written a class name here, because the name of a constructor is same as that of the class name. That is why we wrote here. If the class name is A, the constructor name is also A. If the class name is vehicle, then the constructor name is also vehicle. Okay, you can see one example here. I have created one class. The class name is bike1, and see the constructor, the class name and the method name. The constructor name is same, and there is no need of return type. It's simply the method name, pair of parentheses, then open the pair of curly brackets, write those statements that we had write here. Okay, and see how we are creating the object. Bike1 class name space object name equal to new the constructor. So for creating each and every object, we have to use the constructor. That is compulsory. Without the constructor, we cannot create an object. So in this example, when I create this object, the name of the object is B, and this is actually an object of class bike1. So we are actually calling a method named bike1. Okay, so when this method is invoked, what happens? This line of statement inside this method gets executed. So we will get an output, that is this statement bike is created will be displayed. At the same time, an object B will be created. Okay, so even if we are not writing this constructor, okay, suppose assume that I have not written this constructor inside this class. That means assume that in this class there is only one main method and we are creating this object. Then also this program will work without any error, because if I have not written this constructor, Java compiler will give us the permission to use the default constructor that is created by the Java compiler itself. So the default constructor created by Java compiler will be looking like this only, that is bike1 pair of parentheses, but there will not be any system.out.println statement inside it. It will be an empty pair of curly brackets. So even if I am not creating this constructor, Java compiler will be creating a default constructor which will be used when we create objects like this. I hope it's clear. Next one is the parameterized constructor. As the name indicates, these are the constructors that accepts parameters. As you can see in this example, here I have a class. The class name is student4. There are two variables. One is int id, the other one is string name. Then see the constructor. The name of the method same as the class name. There are two parameters. That is why we are saying that this is the parameterized constructor. The parameters are, one is int I and the other one is string n. And see what happens inside it. We are actually assigning the value of these variables, id and name here. So what's the need of a parameterized constructor? We know that we can create multiple number of objects of a class. We can create any number of objects of a single class. Suppose we want to give different values to each objects. That is what happens in this example. See, I have created two objects, S1 and S2. Both are objects of class student4, but I have to give different names to S1 and S2. So when I created this object, I am writing new and I am calling the constructor that I have written here. That is the parameterized constructor that I have written inside this class. This is not a constructor given automatically by the Java compiler. It is actually written by myself. So when I called that constructor, I am giving two parameters. They are triple1 and current as the input. So triple1 will be copied to int I and current will be copied to n. And see, we know that S1, the object named S1 will be having a copy of ID and name. Similarly, S2 also will be having a copy of ID and name. That is, S1 will have its own copy of ID and name, and S2 will have another copy of ID and name owned by S2 itself. So when I pass these two parameters, ID of S1 will be assigned as triple1, name of S1 will be assigned as current. Similarly, when I create this object named S2, I am passing two parameters and they are triple2 and rn. So when I execute this line of code, the value of triple2 will be assigned to the ID of S2 and value Aryan will be assigned to the name of S2, and then I'm calling s1.display and s2.display. This is how we have to call a method by using object name dot the method name. So s1.display will be calling the method name display that is owned by s1 itself, and s2.display will be calling a method name display that is owned by s2. So s1.display will be calling display. Inside that we are printing ID and name of s1, so it will display 111 and current. Similarly, s2.display will be displaying the value of ID and name variables of object s2, so it will display 222 and Aryan. I recommend that you people just execute this program and see the output. So when we have to use this parameterized constructor, these parameterized constructors are used when we have to give different values to different objects. So like this example, I am giving s1, the object named s1, these two values, and I am giving different values to object s2. So like this, whenever we have to create an object of this class, I can give different values. So each object will be having a unique value. So that is a situation where we have to use the parameterized constructors. One more point, if we have written a constructor, even if it is default constructor or parameterized constructor, that is, if we, the programmer who is writing the program, have written a constructor inside a class, then the default constructor given by the Java compiler will not get work or will not get executed. It will be the constructor that is written by the programmer that is what going to execute. I repeat, if the programmer, the one who is writing the program, have written a constructor inside a class, then when we create objects of that class, it is that constructor written by the programmer is going to execute it. So that means if we have written a constructor, then the Java default constructor, the default constructor given by the Java compiler will not work. It does not have any role. I hope it's clear. There are many differences between constructors and methods. From these points that we have discussed so far, you people might have understood what are the differences. What are they? That is assignment for you. You people just write down the difference between constructors and methods and submit to me. Okay. We shall conclude now. So we defined a constructor. It's an important topic in Java. One of the most important questions that are frequently asked in university question paper as well as for interviews. We also came across the different types of constructors and we saw the examples of both type. I hope it's clear. Thank you so much.